hopefully got a couple of simple little jobs. What I want to do is change the exhaust over to the titanium race exhaust so that I can take it back to the dyno and do a few more experiments with different ECUs. I'm going to test the Rally ECU, I'm going to test the Kove ECU, and I'm going to retest the TRC Enduro ECU with a combination of exhausts, including the full titanium race exhaust system plus the front part of the titanium race system with the standard silencer on it. And obviously, to get back on the dyno as well, need to do something about these tyres. I could change it back to the CST tyres, but I've gone a little bit of a step further and got a whole new set of wheels with some more dyno suitable tyres on it. So it's the Continental ContiEscapes. Seem to be pretty good in terms of reviews from other people using them. I figured actually these could be quite good for doing longer tours that involve a bit more road, maybe even a track day at some point or something a bit mad like that. So first step I think is to run the bike just with the normal exhaust from a cold start. First things first, get this under tray off. Okay. Now the exhaust studs are up there. Looks like got pretty good access to them. I won't need to take off the side tanks as far as I can see. So like 12s. Next, I want to disconnect this O2 sensor, I think. Screw it. So I'm just going to leave that O2 sensor resting in that hole, so the end doesn't get anything crap on it, and then it stops working. You can see the copper slip there has been very helpful. This back one, I remember, needs I think it's 14mm span on the back. Yeah. I'm going to just try and lift that all the way off with one. It's worked okay. Whilst it's off, I can give it a good clean. There's a lot of muck on there. So you can see there, I've just given it a little bit of a clean and popped some copper grease onto the studs for being able to attach the next exhaust header, the titanium one. So this is the downpipe. Just line this up. Hold it roughly in place. Then just loosely attach the nuts. It's good, good start. And this middle section looks like you have to reuse the rubber grommet from the other exhaust, so I'll just pop that out. And here it is here. So I shall just find a way of convincing this to go in there and then inserting the metal part of it as well. So here you can see I've just taken the rubber grommet out of the other standard midsection, pushed it into this loop. So I'm now going to loosely connect this up to that. And then loosely screw this bolt in. Be careful not to cross thread it. And then I'm gonna just loosely start to screw this O2 sensor into place. Little trick for screwing in O2 sensors. Obviously, when you twist them, they're still attached to the wire. So if you twist it around a few times to the left before you want to start screwing it in, then as you do screw it in, you're effectively unwinding the wire rather than winding it up. Then it's a lot more cooperative. Now, looking inside the standard silencer, let's see if I can find a position where it can be seen. See, there's actually two holes in there. So there is quite a big restriction. So it'll be interesting to see what this can do to the power. Now, get this nut and bolt ready. Just want to try and slip this end can onto there. Pop that in just to take the weight. That is everything roughly in place. So time to start putting the springs on and then tightening everything down. Now, as you can see, these exhaust parts are held together by these springs, and they can be a bit fiddly, but the trick is to work your way backwards and ideally use one of these spring pullers. The kit didn't come with one, but I've got one left over from an old bike. That just makes it so much easier to hook the springs over the little connector bits. Otherwise, you'd be fiddling around with screwdrivers, bits of wire coat hanger. It's also easiest to attach the spring at the front and then put it towards the back, because then you're kind of pulling in the right direction. Because obviously the exhaust is more attached at the front than it is at the back. Yeah, easy job. If you ever get hold of one of these, save it, because it will always come in handy in the future, even if you don't think you're going to get another bike like that again. Right, quite a lot of faffing later. I've got it on. The fit wasn't exactly perfect, and I just had to make this mounting hole a little bit longer in order to get all of the bolts in. But it is in place. And if we switch it on, the sound is definitely different. Definitely a fair bit louder than the standard exhaust. So of course I've also, in order to run this exhaust, I've swapped for the Rally Racing ECU. You can see their version 1.1, and it started straight up and it seems to be idling nicely, so it seems pretty good from the get-go in terms of like rideability. So it'll be fun to test out what difference this makes. Next job, get the under tray back on. Right, now I've got the bike off the ground on this enduro bike stand. Just about works. Both wheels can spin freely. It's probably slightly sketchy, but it seems to be holding and doing the trick. So just to get the wheel off now. It's a good opportunity to use the kind of tools that I'd have out on the trail just to check they work. So I've got a 32-inch here. I've already, 32mm spanner here, which I used to crack the nut off whilst the bike's still on the floor. Now, it'll be interesting to see whether it's going to be essential to release the chain tension before knocking the axle through, because some bikes you can, some bikes you can't. So I'll give it a gentle tap with the mallet and see. Looks like we might be okay. Should be possible to support the wheel, hit the weight, just pull that spindle out. There's a bit of fiddling around. Wheel is off. And see the wobble there. Cush drive off. I'm going to transfer the rubbers to the new wheel because, well, I haven't bought any spare rubbers yet. Then installing these rubbers into the Cush drive, just a case of you can't really get them wrong. They only go in one way. Might get spare sets. I've got a set for each wheel. May or may not be easy to get this in. It is. If it's a bit stiff, you could just put a little bit of WD-40 on the rubbers, but they seem to have loosened up nicely enough. So now it's a case of putting the wheel back on. Then it's just a case of you just got to slide the wheel back into place and then just position it so you can see a clear path through for the axle. Got to make sure this spacer is in the right place. And it's just a case of holding it in the right place for long enough to get the axle through. I've cleaned the axle and given it a little bit of grease. I just got this spanner stuck down the hole there, the spanner stroke tyre lever, just to hold that in place behind the brake caliper. So now I can start pushing the axle back through, and then it should go through the spacer, and I can line it up and make sure it goes through the brake caliper hole and then out the other side of the swing arm. So pretty good. And because we haven't adjusted the chain tension, I'm rather hoping that it's just going to be perfect. So we put it back exactly where it was before. Let's just snug it up for now. I'll do it up properly, torque it on the floor. You can see that's back together. Chain tension is the same. ABS sensor is in place over the ABS ring, which is good. Brake disc is between the pads and the caliper. Changed up the sprocket. Sprocket and Cush drivers on the wheel, and that side is up against the chain tensioner as well. So hopefully that's the back done. Okay, to get the front off, I loosened these whilst it was on the ground. So you just undo this nut. You undo the 10mm pinch bolts here and 10mm pinch bolts there. And it's just a case of pushing or knocking this through. Might be able to wiggle it. Find something to push it through. That's that out, easy enough. It's just a case of lining stuff up. And then you can just replace the nut on the end here. Don't have to do it up too tightly. Make sure everything is in the right kind of position. That spins all right. And then just do up these pinch bolts. Again, just because I'd rather like them to come out as easily in the future, just gonna put a dab of grease in them. That should be all good. Now this is a bit sketchy on this stand because really it's designed for a motocross bike, but I find if you just push it that way, leave it on the side stand, you can pull it out. There we go, just the wheel nuts to torque, and then that is the bike ready for its next trip to the dyno. And the first thing to test is, does the Rally ECU plus this very nice looking titanium exhaust make any actual difference to the power? Just for anyone that doesn't believe me that I don't torque things up, I've got this set to 128 Newton meters. Just a double check. Perfect. On the front, I've got set to 88 Newton meters. That's it. Now just to tidy up and then take it for a spin. Make sure it all is fitted together properly. But yeah, looks pretty smart and sounds fantastic. But let's see if it makes any difference to the power. Catch you next time.